us all together. Lord, we gather in your name as children of a sovereign God. Forever we proclaim, to God be all glory.
Well, good afternoon. How you doing? Well, actually, good evening. How you doing? Another late night tonight. Schedule's been getting a little bit better of me. Welcome to episode 279 of the Thinking Theologian. We're glad we're with you. Glad you're with us tonight. It is Friday, April the 4th, 2025. So today we read 1 Samuel 28 through 31. The title of today is When You Compromise, It Leads to Destruction. The focal scriptures of 1 Samuel 28:15. This is what it says. Why have you disturbed me by bringing me up? Samuel asked Saul. I'm in serious trouble, replied Saul. The Philistines are fighting against me and God has turned away from me. He doesn't answer me anymore, either through the prophets or in dreams. So I've called on you to tell me what I should do. What I should do. Sorry, going live, doing this, sneezing, doesn't work together sometimes. And so what we're talking about today is making bad decisions is a part of life. I've made many, you've made many. The problem with bad decisions is that some people do not learn from them. They continually make bad decisions, and often they get worse as time goes on because there are no real consequences. So they make bad decisions, they continue to make them because they feel like they continually get away from it. Saul is making bad decision after bad decision. He's kind of getting away with it, even though God told him what was going to happen and the punishment that was going to come. So in today's reading, we see Saul make a bad, horrible decision. He compromises his own standard to get an answer to a question that's already been revealed to him, that he was going to lose the kingdom and that the Philistines were going to take over, and this is what was going to happen. So Saul's answer is to go to a witch and has her call up Samuel the prophet who has died because God would not answer him. He prayed and sought his face. And so now Samuel's already dead, so Samuel didn't die because of what Saul did. But what happened is that Saul was trying to get an answer. He was seeking God's face. God was not giving him a response. And so he goes to a witch and says, hey, bring up this Samuel for me so I can ask him a question. And so Saul was in big trouble with the Philistines, and he was in big trouble personally. God would not answer him, and Saul knew God turned his face from him completely. His answer was not to seek God, but to seek a dead prophet. And he used a witch to do it. And he did this even after he banned witchcraft in his area. And the witch was concerned, like, hey, are you going to kill me because you're asking me to do something that you have personally banned? Again, Saul's heart and his demeanor are not coinciding with each other. So don't move too far from the scene. I know it may seem strange, but it teaches many lessons. The biggest is that when people get stressed, they will become desperate and do things they once hated. Saul previously banned all sorcery, but now he's in the thick of it because he thinks it will benefit him personally. He compromises his beliefs to get what he wants. His convictions were temporary, not permanent. So the challenge for us as believers is to examine if we are a people who will compromise our beliefs to get something that we want in our lives. Before you say no, remember that when we are desperate, we will do almost anything to protect what we love and whom we love. And that's what Saul's doing. He's trying to protect his family and trying to protect his kingship. And even though he said he never would and banned it completely, now he's the one using what he's doing. And if we're not careful, we are just as guilty. This is how sin corrupts, and this is how people get caught in things because they say, I'll never do that, not understanding that our hearts are deceitfully wicked and they can do all types of evil and horrible things. And so, especially if it's to protect ourselves or protect other people, this is how things happen and the cover-ups happen, and we see it all the time in Christendom and other areas where you go, oh, I can't believe so-and-so did this. And it's because they try to cover up sin and cover up to protect the things they are doing. Now, if Saul would have had a humble heart, he would have known the lesson God was teaching. The same applies for us in our lives. Far too often, arrogance and pride will lead to compromise and destruction. The only way to keep it at bay is to submit to Christ completely. That we must understand that we must submit to Him in all that we do. It can never be about us or about us, or it may completely come about us, come to deal with us on a daily basis. So what about you? Would you compromise your belief when things got desperate? The answer reveals much about our hearts and our faith. And so you may be going like, Alan, what's the point of this? What's going on? The point of this is that we can't compromise what we believe when things get desperate in our lives, no matter if it leads to our ruin, if it leads to us not getting certain things. We must not compromise what we believe for any reason whatsoever, because when we compromise, it means we have a heart of compromise, and this is how sin enters. And to me, that's a reflection of how Saul lived his life. He compromised in many other areas, and now he's compromising again to get what he wants because he's more concerned about power than about pleasing the Lord. And so we don't need to be a people like that. So tomorrow we'll be in 2 Samuel 1 through 3. I'm finishing up the 1 Samuel today. Thank you for being with us. Have a good day, and I will see you.